My name is Elias Thompson. I'm 74 years old, and for most of my life, I've been a quiet man, a retired mechanic who fixed cars by day and dreamed big by night. My wife, Clara, passed away 2 years ago from a long battle with cancer. She was the light of my world, the one who kept our family together with her endless warmth and homemade apple pies. We had one son, Marcus, now 48, whom we raised with every ounce of love and sacrifice we could muster. But love, as I've learned, can sometimes blind you to the cracks forming in your own foundation. It started on a rainy Tuesday afternoon. I was in the garage, tinkering with an old radio that Clara had loved listening to during her sewing sessions. The phone rang, echoing through the empty house. It was Marcus. His voice was clipped, businesslike, as if he were closing a deal rather than talking to his old man. "Dad, listen up. Sarah and I are moving to Australia next week. Big opportunity, real estate development. I sold the family farm and your vintage Mustang. Got a good price. We needed the cash for the movie. Don't worry, I'll send you a check for your cut. Talk soon." Click. The line went dead. I stood there, the phone still pressed to my ear, rain pattering against the window like mocking applause. The farm, our 50-acre haven in rural Vermont, had been in Clara's family for generations. We bought it outright after scrimping for years, turning it into a place of memories, summer harvests, winter sleigh rides, Marcus's wedding under the old oak tree. And the Mustang? That was my pride, the car I restored piece by piece after retiring. Clara and I would drive it on Sundays, her scarf fluttering in the wind, laughing about nothing and everything. 48 years of parenting, of late nights working overtime to pay for his college, of bailing him out of bad investments, and this is how it ends? A 2-minute call, like discarding an old tool. But as the shock settled, a calm washed over me. Because Marcus didn't know everything. Not by a long shot. Clara and I had always been frugal. While Marcus chased flashy dreams, expensive cars, failed startups, we invested quietly. Stocks, bonds, real estate flips. Over decades, it grew into something substantial. But we kept it secret even from him. Let him love us for us, not our wallet, Clara used to say. After her death, I discovered even more. She'd set up trusts and offshore accounts, making me the sole beneficiary. I was worth millions but lived like I wasn't. The farm and Mustang were just the tip. I owned apartment complexes, commercial lots, even a small tech firm that paid dividends quarterly. That evening, I sat in Clara's favorite armchair sipping black coffee, staring at the envelope she'd left me before passing. "Elias, open when the time feels right. Protect our boy, but teach him if needed." Inside were keys to safety deposit boxes, passwords to accounts, and a note. Money buys comfort, but wisdom buys peace. Marcus's cut arrived a week later, a check for $50,000. Peanuts compared to what he'd sold everything for. The farm alone fetched $800,000. The Mustang, $60,000. He'd lowballed it all in a rush. Probably to fund his Australian fantasy with Sarah, his ambitious wife who'd always eyed our simple life with disdain. I didn't cash the check. Instead, I called my lawyer, Harold Jenkins, a sharp-minded old friend from my mechanic days. "Harold, it's Elias. Time to unwind some knots." Over the next days, Harold worked magic. The farm sale was voided. Marcus had forged a power of attorney, claiming I was incapacitated from grief. The buyers, a young couple, were compensated quietly. The Mustang? Traced to a collector? I bought it back anonymously. But I didn't stop there. I dug into Marcus's life. Turns out his big opportunity was a scam-ridden property flip in Sydney, funded by loans against assets he didn't own, like the condo I secretly held title to through a shell company. Meanwhile, the neighborhood buzzed. Our small town of Willow Creek was tight-knit. News traveled fast. Mrs. Evelyn next door knocked one morning with a casserole. "Elias heard about Marcus selling the farm. That boy's always been a dreamer. You okay? Need groceries?" I played the part. The heartbroken widower shuffling in slippers, pretending poverty. "I'll manage, Evelyn. Just hurts, you know." Inside, I smiled. This charade was necessary. Weeks passed. No word from Marcus. Then one stormy night, the phone rang. It was Sarah, Marcus's wife, sounding frantic. "Elias, it's me, Marcus. He's in trouble. The deal fell through. We're stranded in Sydney. Debts piling up. He said to call you. Can you wire money? Just $20,000 to get us home." I paused, letting the thunder rumble. "Sarah, what happened exactly?" She spilled it all. The investors were frauds. Marcus had borrowed against everything, including their condo, which I owned. Creditors were circling. He's too ashamed to call. Please, Elias, for old time's sake. Sarah, I'm sorry. I don't have that kind of money. Marcus sold what little I had. A lie, but part of the plan, she begged, cried even. But your family. Clara would want this. Clara would want Marcus to face his choices, I said softly, hanging up. That call lit a fire. I instructed Harold to accelerate. We froze the condo, started eviction proceedings anonymously. The loans? I bought them out through a proxy, becoming Marcus's creditor without him knowing. 2 months later, Marcus returned alone. Sarah had left him in Australia, taking what cash remained and filing for divorce. He showed up at my door unannounced, suitcase in hand, looking gaunt and defeated. Rain soaked his expensive suit, now rumpled. Dad, he croaked, eyes downcast. I messed up. Can I come in? I let him in, offering coffee but no sympathy yet. He collapsed on the couch, spilling his tale. The scam, the debts, $150,000 and climbing, Sarah's betrayal. She said I was a failure, took half our savings and ran back to her family in California. And the farm? The Mustang? I asked quietly. He winced. I needed the money fast. Thought it'd work out. I'm sorry, Dad. I figured you'd understand, starting fresh and all. Understand? You sold our legacy without a word. He hung his head. I know, but now, the condo's being evicted. Banks are after me. Can I stay here? Just till I get on my feet? I nodded. Of course. You're my son. But this was phase 1. Let him settle, feel safe, then teach. Marcus moved into his old room, the one with posters from his high school football days. He moped around, applying for jobs half-heartedly, sales gigs mostly. Evelyn noticed, gossiping over fences. Poor Elias, taking in that wayward boy after what he did. I encouraged him gently. Son, why not try manual work? Builds character, he scoffed at first. Dad, I'm a deal maker, not a laborer. But desperation hit when creditors called daily. Finally, he took a job at the local warehouse, loading trucks for $15 an hour. Grueling shifts, sore muscles. He'd come home exhausted, collapsing without complaint. One evening, as he nursed blisters, he opened up. Dad, remember when I was a kid and you'd fix cars in the garage? I thought it was beneath us. Now, this job makes me appreciate what you did. Progress, but not enough. Subplot unfolded with Sarah. She called me privately, revealing more. Marcus had been cheating on her with a business partner in Australia. Elias, he used your name to vouch for loans. Said you had hidden assets. I left because I couldn't take the lies. Hidden assets? I probed. Yeah, he mumbled about Clara's investments. Thought you were loaded but playing poor. That sealed it. Marcus had suspected something but never asked directly, assuming he'd inherit it all. Meanwhile, I visited the farm secretly. It was mine again, fields golden with autumn wheat. I hired a manager to run it profitably, adding to my portfolio. The Mustang sat in a rented garage, polished and waiting. 3 months in, Marcus hit bottom. The eviction finalized. He lost the condo. Creditors sued. One night he broke down over dinner. Dad, I'm done. Owe $200,000 now. Sarah's divorcing me, taking alimony. How did it come to this? You tell me, I said. What led you to sell our home without asking? He cried, real tears. Greed, Sarah pushed, but I let her. Thought money would fix everything. Ignored you, like you were obsolete. That hurt, but it was honest. The next day, I found an old envelope in Clara's sewing box, another from her. For Marcus when he's ready. Inside, photos of our family, a small key, and a note. The real treasure is in the heart. But this key opens box 512 at Willowbank. Use wisely. I showed it to Marcus. Your mom left this. His eyes widened. A key to what? We went to the bank. Box 512 held antique coins, Clara's jewelry, worth $100,000. Marcus gasped. Mom had this? We could sell it, pay debts. Is that your first thought? I asked. He paused. No, but what else? We're broke. You're broke, son. But let's think. He sold half, paying urgent debts but kept some pieces. For memory, he said. It was a start. Unbeknownst to him, Harold had been working. I bought out his debts anonymously, gathering evidence of his frauds. Sarah, feeling guilty, provided emails proving Marcus's deceptions. Marcus kept working, bonding with coworkers. One, a veteran named Tom, shared his story, lost everything in a divorce, rebuilt through hard labor. Money comes and goes, kid. Integrity stays, Marcus echoed this at home. Dad, Tom's right. I chased shortcuts. Forgot basics. Evelyn's visits added layers. She confided in me. Elias, Marcus helped fix my fence yesterday. Free, said it was paying forward. He's changing. One subplot. Marcus reconnected with an old flame. Lisa, a local teacher who'd always seen his potential. She visited cautious. Heard about Australia. You okay? Over coffee, he confessed everything. I was a fool, Lisa. Hurt Dad worst. She challenged him. Prove you're different. He did. Volunteering at the community center, helping elderly neighbors. Finally, the reveal. I arranged a meeting at Harold's office. Son, come with me. Free legal advice for your debts. Marcus, nervous. Dad, I can't afford it. Just listen. Harold laid out folders. First, debt evidence, forged signatures, scams. We can clear you, Marcus. Fraud proven. Who's we? He asked. Then the big one, my assets. Deeds to the farm, apartments, stocks. Your dad owns it all. Always has, Marcus stared. Dad, you're rich? The farm, it's yours again? Yes, and the condo? Mine too. He pieced it. You knew when I came back? Let me work warehouse shifts, cry over debts. Why? Because love isn't handouts. It's lessons. You discarded me for dreams. Needed to value what matters, tears flowed. I get it. I was blind. Mom's note. She knew, Harold added. Your dad's paid to clear your name. Start fresh. Marcus hugged me. Forgive me? Already did. Now earn it daily. Post-reveal. Marcus quit the warehouse but started managing the farm, hands-on. He and Lisa dated, building honestly. We turned an apartment into a shelter for scam victims, using my funds. Sarah resurfaced, begging reconciliation. Marcus declined. Learned my worth. Evelyn, in on it now, laughed. Elias, you're a sly fox. Best lesson ever. Years later, at 80, I watch Marcus. Happy, grounded, father to twins. Clara's legacy lives, not money, but wisdom. Justice isn't revenge. It's growth.